It's time for Life in the Fast Lane with Madison Morgan. Stay tuned now for relative, informative, timely, sometimes controversial and hot topics involving everyday life. In Madison's world, that would be Life in the Fast Lane. Your calls are welcome at 928-282.
Benjamin DeHaven on today with us.
Yep, I'm here.
And how are you today?
Oh, I'm pretty good. I'm, you know what Walter Cronkite said about retirement? You wake up with nothing to do, and by noon you're already behind.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So, not that I'm retired, but I feel like every day is that way here lately.
Yeah.
You just described Madison almost. If you'd have said wake up at noon, you would have described Madison.
Yeah, see, I like waking up at noon. And then by the time 2:30 rolls around, I like to eat my dinner and then maybe go sit at the pool.
Yeah, that's not a bad schedule.
It's a full schedule. So I'm reading this, and at first I didn't know if Michael Enzo,
Yeah, Enzo.
is a real person, a friend, or what? Do you two work together?
We used to. So
I like this too because it sounds. I love gigolos. Number one.
you would have loved him then for sure.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, as far as I know. So
I would love this guy.
He's been MIA for quite a while, and it's funny because there's a fine line between fiction and nonfiction. So I think what I'm allowed to say is this is a work of fiction based on factual events. So
is he like a Ponzi guy too?
Yeah, eventually. So him and I actually met in Chicago and have been friends for, over 20 years, and then had a little bit of a misunderstanding with a newspaper in New Orleans, an art paper that we owned, and he pauperized us and took off right after Hurricane Katrina, and then was a ghostwriter who originally was paid to write all sorts of things for celebrities, and then when the money ran dry, kind of started doing that without their permission. So really interesting character, someone who didn't need the money to begin with and just really lived a ridiculous lifestyle. So
wait a minute. I got to get this clear. So he would write about people without them knowing about it, but made believe that it was them?
Yes, at the end. Yep, at the end. So that was after...
I love a good scam.
Yeah, that was after his and I's friendship, officially kind of came to an end.
But how did people find him to know that he was a ghostwriter?
So he came from... His father was some type of a political speechwriter. And when I met him, he just always seemed to have money, always seemed to have, almost like, I don't know if you've ever accidentally gone to a Quick Star or an Amway convention and everybody seems to have on a $10,000 suit.
Yep, accidentally, no.
Yeah, selling vitamins and toilet paper and makeup, but he would have fit in perfect there. And we went to Kentucky Derby every year and cruises, and one of his fiancées actually lived on the Queen Mary 2 for 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah, so he kind of just came in and out. It's one of those...
was he attractive?
Yeah, I mean, he's a decent-looking guy, and I'm not a psychiatrist, but if I had to guess, I would say I don't think any woman could probably fix him, although many tried.
So he could have been bipolar, tripolar. I don't know. He could have had something where he would have had bouts of really being charming.
Oh, sure. Yeah. He was definitely charming and loved to spend money and made you feel like you were about the most important thing in the world when you were there.
But he was spending other people's money.
Right. So that's where the wheels kind of came off. So in an effort then to make that money, he got into some pretty fraudulent activities.
But you had to have a lot of fun with this guy.
Oh yeah, I had a blast. I mean, I traveled Europe, cruises. I mean, I had an ex-girlfriend who had a small dog she couldn't take care of, and that dog flew. He chartered a $20,000 jet to take the dog down to St. Martin just so it could run around and be free. Things like that.
I love this
ludicrous things. And a few years ago, we got in a little bit of trouble, or he got in trouble, and I got subpoenaed for questioning. and him and I, the root of this book was him. You know, we owned this newspaper in New Orleans, and he was never present. And of course, the newspaper was put entirely in my name. And it was funny because the prosecution asked me. They said, you know, it didn't seem odd to you that you had a check made out to you and he wanted it back in cash? And I said, no, it didn't. I watched him buy a house for $400,000 in the French Quarter and a garbage bag full of cash. So it was an everyday occurrence with this guy.
So, I mean, can you tell us, I don't know, can you tell us some of the things that he did ghostwriting for that we would know? Well,
so that's the fun thing about this book, this Confessions of a Self-Help Writer, is this is a portion of his journal and a portion of where I was, and kind of as an outsider, almost looking in, and then also as an insider with the deals that I was aware of. But we originally, I wanted to publish kind of the conspiracy expose, and the legal team with the publishing company was like, wow, this is really great, but let's tone this down a little bit until let's market this thing as a fiction book and see if it flies. And that's what's really interesting is I never considered myself to be, I don't know, a fiction writer or an author in any means, and then this book just exploded on a literary basis rather than a scandal basis, which has been fascinating. So I'm flying to Las Vegas tomorrow. We're having a release party for the book next week, and I was nominated for the Best New Voice in Fiction by the American Library Association. And during an interview with them, they said, wow, you know, what does it feel like? And are you excited? And I said, all I can tell you is there must have been some horrible literature this year.
You know who would probably the UK would love this.
Yeah, it's funny because
like, you remember that movie Confessions of it was with George Clooney and the guy he did the talk show host.
Chuck Barris.
Chuck Barris.
Yeah.
And was he like a
CIA
killer or something?
He was Chuck Barris, the Gong Show host and producer. He was supposedly a
CIA.
A spy,
he would do all these killings.
Yeah. He was
I believe it.
Contract killer. Yeah. You believe it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for this, but I figure we have a good liability policy. So George Clooney is actually mentioned in this book.
Is he?
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So when we were in Chicago, actually, him and I worked on the television show ER together. I worked on the camera crew, and I'm not really sure what he did. Something on the producing end. And there's a portion
of the book
where,
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on ER. This was a long time ago, and they came to Chicago just to shoot the exteriors, but Enzo actually hit Clooney in the face with a snowball, and they had to shut down the filming.
Oh, I remember that. I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was him.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Did he do it on purpose?
Yeah. The director of photography bet him that he wouldn't, and before he could even complete what the amount of the bet was, the snowball was out of his hand, and there was a rock inside of it apparently that cut his nose.
Oh, okay. I wondered that would either have to be one heck of a large snowball, or it had to be chucked really hard.
Yeah,
but there was a rock.
I think you just had a piece of asphalt gravel or something in the middle of it.
Interesting.
So he must be pretty well known.
Yeah, he's like kind of that dark secret nobody wants to talk about. And
yeah, because then if you, that's the kind of person that people don't really want to talk about because you don't want to be associated.
Yeah, sure, and especially at the end. And
just give me a big thing at the end.
Well, his let's see, I don't know what I can give, but he I'll tell you. I'll give you a quote. This is not from him. This is his father, or his grandfather gave this quote. He said, "I drank more whiskey, slept with better-looking women, and smoked more cigars than Pulitzer and Hearst combined." So, he came from a very prominent family. One of the founding families of America, and the original name was not Enzo.
So you changed his name?
Right, yeah. So what we've done is changed his name and then try to put as much content as we can, like actual content up. So there's some breadcrumbs that you can find laying around, and my personal favorite is he gave an interview 5 or 6 years ago, and the reporter was some young man, and he had no idea that every question that he asked was answered from a line from a Warren Zevon song called "Mr. Excitable Boy" or something like that. So it's incredible. It's just like the most ridiculous interview ever. So we put that up on michaelenzo.com. So that and some of his old film work and things like that.
Does he know where you live?
I doubt it. I hope not.
Because this is like a real scoundrel.
Yeah, he definitely is, and that's the irony of this whole project is this. Imagine you pick up, or your life was changed or altered in some way for the better from some self-help book. Who Moved My Cheese or Good to Great, or some Stephen Covey, and obviously he really writes those, but something along those same lines. And then you realize that the guy's doing rails of blow in the bathroom and ripping people off. The writing's not enough. All of a sudden, you kind of question where it is you're taking your advice from.
Oh my God, this is just too much. I can't. When's this book come out? I really want to read this.
Yeah, so it comes out on July 1st, right around the corner.
Wow.
And it's interesting because, like I said, the original, I really want to put out the details. Like, I would love to tell you, hey, this is his real name. Hey, look at this Huffington Post article.
Yeah, people are going to be dying to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been really tough because even the publicist, or there's, I guess, a couple of publicists, but one of them knows who he actually is. And when she pulled up his name and was like, oh, my God, there's like miles of stuff. Why can't we connect this? And I was like,
well, why can't you?
Well, there's an appeal going on, and we're just going to roll this as a book of fiction right now.
Yeah, but why can't you literally and honestly say, based on
a true story?
Yeah, about so and so. Why can't you do that? Or do you have some kind of a legal ramification on that?
Yeah, so I am. There's that, and I also don't. There's a little bit of a line about if I, even like the George Clooney line I just said.
Mm-hmm.
So the opening chapter of his journal was he was on the Oprah show. So she has a book coming out this year, and the opening line of the book is something of his journal is there's nothing more jarring to someone's self-worth than having Oprah tell them their entire existence isn't interesting enough to carry a 10-minute segment. So I would love, and I know the publisher would love to just punch that right into all of the Oprah press.
Mm-hmm.
But then the legality of it is then we're using Oprah Winfrey's name to sell books.
This could be another thing, too.
But you're telling the truth.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? I think Benjamin you don't want to be incriminated either.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fear of big money too.
Oh, sure.
I mean,
And
you're talking about somebody who could beat the beef raisers in Texas. You know, there's a fear of right, wrong, or indifferent. Somebody can sometimes beat you to death with their money versus being right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's you know, there's reflections in this book about Enzo's father as well, and starting out, and there's a big money example in there. Him and his brother had a coffee distribution center, and they were, whatever it was, a nickel a cup in every store, you know, in the 60s, and I guess they took a portion of the market share, and Folgers at the time came in and basically said, listen, if you don't raise your price to what ours is, we are going to give a pound of free coffee to every person in a 30-mile radius until you go broke.
Wow.
So yeah, there's that fear of.
Yeah.
Did you meet any of his family?
I have, yes.
Did they seem real to you?
No, in fact, it's it's really weird because him and I actually, and one of the underlying themes of the book is that him and I, you know, when he shuffled through these women, I actually fell in love with one of the girls that he was with, and you know, it's tempting to bring her into the light. She's somewhat of a mild celebrity, although not one that you would want your mother to find out about.
Porn star?
She, yeah.
She's in the porn business, right?
Yeah. So, you know, it's interesting because I'm just waiting for her to even catch a glimpse of it.
And you married her?
He married her, yeah. I never did.
But you were in love with her?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, when I was young and foolish and didn't know any better.
No, you were spot on.
Yeah, so well, you know,
listen,
you know what they say.
When you can find a good porn star, you're spot on.
Is this the gal that ran for governor in California at one time?
No.
Okay.
Initials JJ?
No, that would be great though.
Yeah.
See, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
There's one girl who's actually got a book out this year, and her initials are AA. And yeah, she's pretty terrible. But they're all pretty terrible, to be honest with you. Some of them are actually pretty decent people, but we went to the AVN Awards, and let me tell you, that was one of the most disturbing events ever. So
I know. I watch it. You know, you can see it on. You know, they show it on HBO or Showtime or one of them. But they're always playing it. You know, so there must be a lot of interest in it. And God.
I mean, there's who knows? But so the project is. We have a.
See, you're not giving. I'm going to tell you something, Benjamin. I'm a little disappointed in you because you're not giving me a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, well.
He just admitted to you that he had a love affair with
Arizona, right?
He didn't have the affair, but it was from far away. I'm sure he had some throwovers from the guy Michael.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. I bet you're good looking too.
I don't know. I'm okay. I'm humble, but I have a really high self-esteem.
Okay. Are you married?
No.
Oh, this is great. Yeah, because I don't think you're the marrying type.
He's not married.
No, there's actually there's some great pictures on bdehaven.com.
Wait a minute. What was that again?
B is in Bravo, and then DeHaven, DEHAVEN.
.com.
Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff there, and there's some more. I think some of those details that you want to find, you can find some of the things in there about the court case and some other stuff. Just things I'm a little nervous to rip out on the radio, especially since the title of your show, it feels like
Life in the Fast Lane.
Yeah, we're getting. I know you want the fast and dirty, but I don't know. I don't know.
Because my life, listen, I would have went into politics, but I have a sordid past.
Mm-hmm.
So, But so does everybody else, really, if you think about it. So, I guess this is better than nothing. Plus, I changed my name. Well, anyway, I had to throw that in. I don't know why. I like you a lot.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I actually, I like you as well. I listened to a couple of your interviews.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a few weeks ago, and it sounded really fun. So I was excited
she could be the subject of your next book.
Oh.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll get a list together of all the stuff you don't want to.
I know a lot of stuff, but it has to do with let's say an organization.
There's almost nothing about Madison's life that she wants exposed.
Right. Well, that's the best. That's what people want to read.
I mean, I guess there's been enough time that's passed.
Yeah, in her case, you have to change the names to protect the guilty.
Yeah, well, they're very funny stories, but they're all true, you know? I mean, I lived in New York and, you know.
Ah, yeah, good old New York. I was there for Book Expo America a few weeks ago.
How was it?
I have a love-hate relationship with that city.
Do you?
Yeah,
Doesn't everybody?
I lost
You
my
can't have a
virginity
love-hate
there, but I've also-
relationship with New York.
You love to live there. No, you love to visit there, and you hate to live there.
No, living there's the best.
Isn't that everybody?
And then I moved to Jersey, and, you know, it was terrible. Like, you know, at least in New York, you could get drunk or whatever and get a cab, and then your doorman made sure you got into your apartment, you know what I mean? But when you live in Jersey and you're partying in New York, it's, you know, and then you got to take the train home. It's not that much fun.
Oh, no, the train home is great.
You think so?
Yeah, I always used to pour a little bit. I get a shot of wild turkey, which I could never stomach, but I'd dump it down the front of my shirt and then just pretend to be passed out.
Oh, I would always twitch and stuff and make people think I was, you know, I had like tics or something to leave me alone. Because guys, you know how guys are on those trains.
Yeah, that's
trying to whip out things that shouldn't be whipped out.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. One guy, I just stared him down, you know. I was just, you know, I didn't say a word. I just wanted him to whip it out, you know. I can't believe we talk. This is supposed to be.
Nowadays, that would be filmed. That'd be on YouTube somewhere.
I know. Yeah. I missed some golden opportunities.
That's right. I know. It's funny because all the stuff that goes up online is kind of tame to especially some of the stuff in the Confessions book and even your story you're talking about, I'm sure.
I swear, you know, you and I would really hang out. We'd have a blast.
Yeah, well, you should. You know, we have a book release party in Vegas. We're actually.
But that's July 1st.
No, June 27th.
Oh, June 27th.
And
where?
It's at the Hustler Club. We're going to go to the American Library Association and hopefully accept our best new voice in fiction, and then invite all of the librarians over to the Hustler Club for free lap dances and $2,000 bottles of Grey Goose.
Whose money are you going to be using?
Michael's.
Mostly the publishers, and I told him it's funny because
fun.
You know, as an unknown author, who cares at the end of the day?
Yeah,
right?
you don't care about that.
Keep talking like this. You're not going to be unknown for very long.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, you know, I asked one of the PR companies. They said, you know, we need to set up book signings at Barnes and Noble and blah.
Wow.
And I said, why? I'm like, how does that work? And I said,
no. You got to cause controversy. You want to sell this? You have to cause controversy because that's what sells.
Right.
Plain
so it's I have a very good friend of mine that is really connected in Vegas, and originally we were going to do the party at the Crazy Horse, which was I think the first GM was beheaded in the office, the second one was gunned down on the Strip, and then
those are my kind of people.
Yeah, right. And this was the third one, but something happened, and of course they were like, "Oh, book signing party? That sounds horrible."
No. I don't know. I might be meeting you, Benjamin.
Yeah, you should come up, and we're trying to do some kind of rafflecopter, but it's really confusing. It's basically like. You can fill out a form not even a form, you know, social media, and you can win a bottle service at the Hustler Club, which is like $2,000.
My show's on Friday.
I'm sorry?
My show's on Friday. I can't go. 27th is a Friday.
Yeah, but we're going to go from, I sign at the ALA from like 5 until, 7, and then unless your show goes from 8 p.m. until 5 in the morning, I think you'll be okay.
Oh.
All right, we're going to have to leave you
Yeah, we got to go.
We're running out of time, and I want to make sure people know the name of the book, Confessions of a Self-Help Writer, the Journal of Michael Enzo. Maybe or maybe not a real person.
Yeah, that's good.
And of course, people can Google your name, Ben DeHaven, or the name of the book, of course, Confessions of a Self-Help Writer, to find it. And thanks, you've been a great guest.
Oh yeah, this has been fun, really.
Yeah,
fun.
Thank you both so much.
All right.
Best of luck to you.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
All right, we're running out of time. Will you be back next week?
Yeah, is it the 27th?
The threat is complete.
Okay.
You've been listening to Life in the Fast Lane with Madison Morgan. If you would like your topic discussed, email Madison K. Morgan at MSN.com. That's Madison K. Morgan at MSN.com. Tune in every Friday morning after the 11 o'clock news for Life in the Fast Lane with Madison Morgan, right here on AM 780 KAZM.
Life in the Fast Lane.